Hi folks, haven't made anything in a while, so got a craving for corn relish, so that's what we're doing today. I pre-cut my vegetables. I got a half a cup of chopped onion, a cup total of chopped peppers. You can do red, green, yellow, doesn't matter what kind you like, just for color. Cup of chopped celery. In the frying pan that I have, my saucepan, I have 4 cups of corn niblets and 2 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups white vinegar, and half a cup of water. I like to start this without all the vegetables in it first, just so I can get my sugar dissolved. Best thing to do. But once I'm sure the graininess is out of the liquid, I'm going to dump all my vegetables in. I have 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. Also, a teaspoon of mustard seeds and a teaspoon of celery seeds. I have my recipe all handwritten out, but I'll put it in the video like I normally do. So you want to bring this to a boil and then simmer for 10 minutes. And while that's happening, you can get together your flour, turmeric, and dry mustard powder. This is just a single batch, so to this I'm going to add half a cup of warm water, make a bit of a paste out of it. And once this has been boiling for the 10 minutes, I will add it to it, and then you turn the heat down a little bit, keep stirring, it'll get nice and thick, and you cook it for another 10 minutes. Tips: you can use corn on the cob, cook your corn cobs how you like. You can boil them, barbecue them, you can even char them if you wanted to put a little bit of a different flavor in your corn relish. That'd be nice. Char the peppers too if you want. But keeping the excess liquid out is essential, otherwise it will not thicken up with the flour flavored paste. So canned corn, drain it as well as you can, even if you want to drain it overnight in a perforated bowl, supported in another bowl. Like I said, the frozen corn niblets work just as great. Just thaw them, drain them, squeeze them, get all the excess water out. Make sure all your stuff is sterile. I'm going to cut out for a second while this is coming up to a simmer. All my bottles have been pre-washed. My lids are ready to go. And what I normally do is boil the kettle. I can either use the dishwasher and run them through a hot cycle without soap, hot water. That sterilizes everything. Or I boil the kettle and pour the hot, scalding boiling water in them right before I bottle everything. Hello, we're back. So, as you can see, we've got nice simmering vegetables happening here. So to that, I'm going to mix up my little bowl of flour, turmeric, and dry mustard with half a cup of just slightly warm water. I don't want to use hot because it'll make it lumpy, and you don't want it to really be lumpy. If you're going to use cold water to do it, I suggest before you add it to scoop a little bit of your vinegar juice off of the simmering vegetables into this to temper it, so you're not adding straight cold to straight hot, because it may clump. But just keep stirring. If you have a little whisk, it's good. Fork's good. Another tip: make sure you have all your bottles and ingredients ready and lids. I started to make this and realized I didn't have enough pint bottles, so I got some larger bottles, some smaller bottles. You should have new lids every year, so these are going to be heated as well. These are the inside. that goes in the rings on top of the jar. Rings will hand tighten the rings on them. It's okay, there's a little tiny bit of rust on the rings, not a lot. These have all been cleaned up too because these don't touch the actual jar. So, and these don't have to be hot. If your jars are cold, even after you've cleaned them, do yourself a favor and run them under some hot water before you put the scalding water in. You don't ever want to put, turn this down a little bit, you don't ever want to put, there's the sauce, completely hot scalding water into a cold jar because it will probably break. A little bit of paste in, you're just going to stir it around really good. Don't stir too vigorously and spill your stuff on the stovetop because it kind of caramelizes really fast and you get sugar stuck and then you got to scrub it off. And yes, that's from experience. Now, as I said, you can do green peppers, any color peppers you want. If you like less celery, because there is celery seed in here for flavor, you could do less celery, more peppers, more onion. And even if you ended up having a little bit extra water in here, it just means your broth, your sauce on it's going to be a little thinner, just not as thick, and sometimes it can be too thick. Just give it a good stir before you serve it. I like putting this stuff on hot dogs, hamburgers. You can mix it into potato salad because it's got a ton of flavor once it sits for a while. I'm going to give a few jars to my mom and dad because mom's not making a whole lot of stuff this year. Okay, so as you see, that's getting thicker. We're just going to let it cook for a second, and I'm going to pour my hot water into my jars. Now you can see, I'll bring you over, and you can see how thick this is getting now. Nice and saucy. So you want to keep stirring it so it doesn't burn to the bottom. It's turned down a bit. Oh, it smells so good in here. I love the smell of spices and vinegar. It's awesome. So you're just cooking it long enough now to cook out the flour so that it doesn't taste like flour when you have your pickles. It says to do up to 10 minutes, but this is just a single batch, and you can do a double batch at a time. I wouldn't suggest doing more than a double. Over here. This is a couple of the previous batch I did, so that's normal. That's a wide mouth jar compared to a jar that has an indent on the top. These ones can break if you freeze them with sauces and stuff in them. These ones have the straight sides, so as it expands, it's not going to break the jar. Okay, it's hot, but I'm going to try a little bit of the sauce. So good. Fill my jar. You're going to want to wipe the rim of the jar. There is a canning funnel you can get. I had one. I'm not sure where it is. I'm going to be getting another one. I got to go get some more jars if I'm going to do some beets. As for beets, I want some 1 liter jars. Love me some beets. So, and I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to fill each bottle. Just be careful doing it. Make sure all your equipment is sterile. Washed. Air dried. Don't dry your stuff because that's how you get dust and bacteria on things. You want to leave a bit of headspace in the jar. Okay, so we got room for the air to escape. Ooh, jars are hot. Now it says you get 4 pints, but I'm not going to get a full 4 pints out of this, I can see. which is fine. Usually, if I have a little tiny bit left over, which I did out of the last batch, I keep another jar handy. And see, I only got 3 pints out of that, but that's okay. I'll keep another jar handy. And this is my I'm gonna eat real soon jar, which I've actually already had some for supper tonight. And I just put the overflow in that. Don't bother trying to cram it into your other jars because you need that headspace on the jars. Now, you want to make sure the tops of your jars clean. So just take a damp piece of paper towel, wipe the tops down, make sure there's no sugary sauce on them that'll hinder the seal. You can wipe the jar itself off in a little bit. Then I'm going to get my tongs and put my lids right on my jars. And these lids have been sterilized in hot water as well. And then I'm just going to hand tighten, make sure I get this lid on the right way. Hand tighten the jar. Don't over tighten it because you want the air to escape. So see that the thing's just sitting on top of the jar. So just hand tighten, just like that. I'm gonna, not too tight, I'm just gonna leave them sit on the towel here on the counter while I clean everything else up. Just clean the jars off there. Once they make the popping sound, and like right now the lids are raised up because of the heat. Once they make the popping sound, then I'll come back and retighten the jars. So hope you enjoyed this quick little recipe. It literally takes the amount of time it takes to drain the corn or open the corn, cut your vegetables. 10 minutes cooking, 10 minutes saucing. Boil your water for your bottles and stuff. Couple hours, if that, and you have corn relish for a meal. So it's one of the easier pickles to do. It's fantastic. I love corn relish. Don't know if I'll tackle chow this year, green tomato chow, but I am going to be making some beets for my mom and dad as well. So hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you enjoy some corn relish if you try it. And hope you get to hear the sound. Thanks for watching. See you later.